you've got to be a man, and you've also got to be really posh. You've got to have gone to the best private schools in the country, like Eton, Harrow, Winchester, Westminster, and so on. And if you're elected as a member, the rest of the club will come to your room in the college, they will break in, they'll completely destroy it, and they'll wait for you to come back home with a tub of Coleman's English mustard, which you have to eat the entirety of as your initiation ritual. Once you've done that, you have to go out and buy a very fancy dinner jacket. You can call it a tuxedo in America for about £4,000. And you wear this fancy dinner jacket to fancy meals at fancy restaurants, which you proceed to then smash up in a fancy way. You may be wondering, how can you smash up a restaurant in a fancy way? I can see some puzzled looks. Well, what you do is, you go in, you have your food, and at the end you turn over all the tables, you throw all of the plates and glasses against the walls, you smash the windows, you flood the bathrooms, you cause about £30,000 worth of damage. But, like good chaps, you leave £30,000 in cash for the restaurant to make their repairs. As you may have gathered, this pub is not particularly well liked. In fact, it's despised, it's notorious, it's infamous. And the reason why it's become increasingly famous in Britain over recent years, and why it's not surprising that the only English person on the tour knows of it, is because a large number of our leading politicians were members of this club when they were undergraduates at Oxford in the 1980s. So this includes Boris Johnson, it includes George Osborne, who's our Chancellor for a number of years, and it also includes David Cameron. David Cameron got up some very questionable stuff as part of it. There's one story in particular involving a dead pig, which you may have heard of. If you haven't, then you can look it up, but I know there are children present, so I'm not going to go through all of the details. And I'm not sure whether this club still exists, because when I started in 2017, apparently they only had 7 members, but it does not show up. Best part of the week, so that's the strictly on. Going back to Hart, the most famous feature of this college.